Welcome back to the Real Talk. Today we are going to be diving into Mark chapter 10 and verse 35. It says, Then James and John, the sons of Zebedee, came to him, saying, Teacher, we want you to do for us whatever we ask. And he said to them, Jesus said to them, What do you want me to do for you? They said to him, Grant us that we may sit one on your right hand and the other on your left in your glory. But Jesus said to them, You do not know what you ask. Are you able to drink the cup that I drink and be baptized with the baptism that I am baptized with? They said to him, We are able. So Jesus said to them, You will indeed drink the cup that I drink, and with the baptism that I am baptized with, you will be baptized. But to sit on my right hand and on my left is not mine to give, but it is for those for whom it is prepared. Look, here is a request asked to Jesus by the two of his disciples, two brothers. They and interesting that they said, Teacher, we want you to do for us whatever we ask. Look, that's a problem that we human beings we have. We want Jesus to serve us when we are supposed to be serving him. So here the disciples, they thought, because they were disciples, they had the right to ask anything to Jesus and Jesus would grant them. But Jesus, after all this dialogue, Jesus told them like this, listen, to sit on my right side, on my right hand and on the left is not mine to give, but for those whom it is prepared. You know, sometimes we ask things to God that we have no idea of what we are asking for. I was listening to a testimony today, and it was a testimony of a couple, and the lady came to the church, grew, and then was delivered. Jesus worked in her life, and then now she was praying for her love life. Then she met someone who was from another denomination, and she thought, no, this is the man I'm going to marry. And then she insisted in that marriage, although there were signs that that relationship was not going to work, but still she insisted with God. She even said, listen, even during the campaign of Israel, she presented her sacrifice, and then she told, oh, here is my sacrifice. Now I want you to bless me with this man so that I can get married. This is the one I want to marry. And she excluded the will of God from her life. So what happened? She met this guy. He was apparently a Christian, a son of a minister, a pastor. And then she thought, my life is going to be wonderful. But on their honeymoon, after the wedding, they went on honeymoon, and on the honeymoon, he asked a divorce. But why was that? Because you see, she had a situation that needed to be resolved, but she wanted to marry, okay? She was single, she wanted to marry. She wanted to marry on her own terms. And she insisted until she got what she wanted, and in the end suffered a lot because he was not the person she dreamed of. She thought that he was going to be a man of God, take care of her, and it was not like that. Anyway, cutting a long story short, sometimes, you know what is our problem? Our will conflicts with God's will. And sometimes, because we think we are within the will of God, that what we want is according to God's will, and often is not. And this is why Jesus on the Gethsemane there, that we have been learning and speaking, and we'll be speaking much more about that. Jesus, when he made that prayer in distress, he asked, Father, if it is possible, let this cup pass from me. But he included something in the prayer, but not my will, but yours be done. So you see, the sons of Zebedee, James and John, they were asking something that they had no understanding. You can read this, I think is in Matthew chapter 25. You can read at home, where Jesus said like this, about the day that will be judged, he will be judging the nations. And then he said, on the right side will be the sheep gathered to him, and on the left, the goats. Now look at this. Sheep are obedient animals. They don't have a vision. They need someone to protect them, so they subject themselves to the pastor, to the shepherd that shepherds them. Goats are stubborn animals, and some of you have experience with that. They are very, very stubborn. They are unruly animals. They have their own ideas, their own mentality, and they are stubborn, stiff-necked animals. And we as well, when we do not subject our will to the will of God, what happens? We become like goats. And then suddenly we are there fighting for something that is not supposed to be ours. Now, if you can read there in Matthew 25, starting from verse 31, how is going to be? And the sons of Zebedee, they were asking to be set on the right, one on the right and the other one on the left, not knowing what they were asking. And then Jesus told something also very interesting that drew my attention was, but to sit on my right hand and on my left is not mine to give, but for those whom it is prepared. Now, this preparation is not that we are, how can I say, determined already where we are going to spend eternity, or if we are going to be on the right or on the left, if we are going to be the sheep or the goats. No, our actions, our attitudes is what prepare us to be in one group or the other, or on the right hand side of Jesus being obedient children, or on the left, goats, stubborn, on the left, that will be judged and will be cast into hell. So that's for us to choose. Now, here the tip is the following. What have you been asking? Whether it is for your family or for your finances, has this been according to the will of God, or has been my will be done and not yours? How has it been? So if you say like this, my will has been done all the time, I insist in doing my will, and that's why you are suffering, then start to change this prayer. Just pray whatever you want, but at the end, add something. Let your will be done. My God, show me if this is your will, and let your will be done in my life just as it is in heaven. All right? So may God bless you. I'll see you later on the love therapy, and as well on our prayer of agreement at Gethsemane. God bless you. Bye-bye for now.